where I ain't got no kind of plan. I've had all the style I can stand. And I got friends out on the coast. We can jump in the water and see what flows. Been saving for a rainy day. There's big storm will be on our way. And it don't matter where we go. There's across the hills to climb. Some days we might fall apart, and some nights might feel cold and dark. But nobody wins the friends amazing chair right there. And I go all the way to back and smile, and know what's worth every mile. Don't let me almost ready, folks. Do it about another minute or so. So it's 2 minutes. Mother clocks are fast. To my love, took it down. Climbed a mountain and turned around. And I saw reflection, snow covered hills till that slide dropped me down. Oh, mirroring the sky, what is love? Can a child in my heart rise love? Can I sail through the changing ocean tides? Can I land the season of my life? Well, I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I've built my life around You but just think older than children get older. I'm getting older too. All right, we're going to stop that CV next right there. Hi, how you doing? This is Most Things Hypnosis. My name is Isla Brock, and I am the host. And I have a quick, but first this morning, let's see. Oh, maybe it's on my other phone. No. Yes, it is. Oh, here it is. I got it. Okay. Did I say this one before? I will bear repeating it since I'm thinking about it again. Okay. Today, this is my affirmation or my little but first moment. It's just a few seconds, but here it is. God will put you back together right in front of the people who broke you. Let me say that again. God will put you back together right in front of the people who broke you. Yipper. Okay, so I'm just throwing that out there. All right, so now what is our show about? Probably going to need a little more than just in normal time. Got like 2,000 words to say, and I'm going to try and say them really fast. Hey, Robert, thanks for joining. You're such a fan. I love it. You got to tell your friends. But I have a special thing I'm going to put at the end, so you want to stay to the end to listen and, tell your friends, afterwards too. Okay. So today is going to be about jealousy, insecurity, and possibly boundaries. Well, I did talk a little bit about boundaries in my little script here that I wrote up. When I went to hypnotherapy school, they have a whole class on boundaries. They have a whole class on guilt and shame, which kind of goes into the insecurity and the jealousies and the lack of boundaries that people have. And a lot of people come and see me because they just haven't set up boundaries. They didn't learn about boundaries. I didn't learn about boundaries until I was in my 50s. I didn't even know what a boundary, I didn't understand it. But we're going to go through that. But first of all, jealousy, insecurity is a self-defeating behavior. Now, a lot of this I got from several books, little plagiarism. I tried to move things around to ILAH words. So I'm just letting you know up front, if you want to know the names of the different books, just send me a text and I'll email you over or text you over the names of the books. I didn't write them all down, so I don't have those resources immediately in front of me. A lot of this was trying to know what I wanted to say, got to get it on paper, and then I had clients and blah, 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 blah. Okay. So remember, jealousy, insecurity is a self-defeating behavior. Jealousy is the bully. And a bully is an intimidator, a tyrant, an aggressor, and an oppressor. That was I got that from a thesaurus. But it's true. Bullies. We don't like bullies. Bullies, and then how many of us are bullies or have been? I have. Guilty. Do you ever feel threatened if you're not in control of someone's life or something? Do you find any kind of pleasure with others and it freaks, or well, put it this way, do you find that there's pleasure with your partner? The partner has pleasure with other people, but it freaks you out because you don't feel safe anymore? Do you lure your mate like a child and try to manipulate them? Does your partner want more freedom? And I'm not saying freedom to cheat. I'm not talking about cheating here at all, okay? That's something entirely different. I'm just talking about relationships that have this sense of insecurity. At least one partner is insecure and jealous. If you have both of them, it's just going to be a blow up. Do you need to approve your partner's activities, everything they do? Do all the plans have to be run by you? Do they have to ask your permission? Does it make you angry when you're informed and not asked about something they want to do? Do you respond by tightening up the reins and controls and to get that person back into your life or back in line in your life? Do you let them breathe? Again, do they have freedom? Okay, so freedom. I'm going to give a quick example of freedom that I'm talking about. For example, last night, let's see, my boyfriend went over to someone's house. I don't know, he was out last night. He was at friend's house doing stuff or dropping stuff off. I don't even remember. Oh, he was at his mom's, I think. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But he was gone. He left the house, I think, at 2. I was here, and it got to be around 6 or 7. And I just assumed he'd be home by then. But I got a text a few hours before that he was having dinner with his family, no big deal. And I didn't bug him. It was probably not until about 10:30 or so before I had any more conversation with him. I didn't want to nag him. Where are you? Why aren't you home? No, 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 no. And he could have been out with the boys. He could have been, well, he was with his family. I always want him to feel like he can breathe in our relationship, that he doesn't have to feel like he's in trouble the minute he heads home. I want him to enjoy coming home to me. But I did send him a text that, hey, I'm going to bed. Have a great time with your family, no rush. I got home because we had to let the dog out, stuff like that. So I didn't want him to feel rushed at all. And he didn't, and I was grateful. And I'm sure he is too. Yeah, I don't ever want him to make him feel like he's in trouble. But does it please you to make your partner toe the line and do whatever you tell them to do and direct that traffic? Are you see, there's another one I saw. Is there a false sense of self-confidence? Are you the general charging an enemy? Is your partner your enemy or your frenemy? I mean, what kind of a relationship do you really have or want? You know what you want and what you're fighting for. I want this to work. Whew. And you're going to work like a savage to get it, by George. You argue your point of view and you're not happy until your point of view is approved and agreed upon without respect to the other person's point of view. And think about this. Are you bugging your partner so much and you're just not going to be happy until they agree with you? But don't they have a right to their opinion? So a lot of questions here, and they're all rhetorical for you to answer. And I'll get into some of the juicy stuff here in a minute. False convincing. You think evidence, you elaborate things not into facts. You take a belief in your head and you conjure up whatever's going on. That's got to stop, because you have no idea until you're directly told or you see actual, evidence that's going on of whatever it is that you're conjuring up. Oh, I know what they're doing. They're out with, this friend of theirs. I don't like them, or they're this, or they're that, or this is what she's doing, or you don't have any idea. You're making stuff up to make yourself miserable. You're just setting yourself up for failure. So don't conjure stuff that you have no proof of, because that just drives you crazy, and it is a sign of severe insecurity. So all of this is part of an inferiority complex. And it's a huge inferiority complex. Someone who really, who is really good at this will hide it, and they'll hide it very well for a while, and they'll give it time. Give it time, and then you will see it. So you may not realize someone is a jealous person the first time you meet them. They'll show that side of them that they want you to see. Everything's cool. I have clients coming into my office now, many. They have that side of them, this side of jealousy that they did hide for years into their relationship. Now it's coming out and it's destroying them inside, and it's trying to help them. And sometimes maybe they're just not ready to let go, which I'll get into in a bit. If you get jealous even a little bit, maybe it's because you think too little of yourself. Have some confidence within, real confidence, not false confidence. You've learned a bad psychological act, and you learn to do it very, very well. So it could be a passive aggressive kind of act. So you have this jealous moment or moments. I have learned just in the last 4.5, almost 5 years, how to create security. I don't have a jealous bone in my body. Now, will I fight from my boyfriend? Oh, hell yes, I will. But if there's not mutual respect to fight for the relationship, I walk. I will walk. Now, will I be hurt? Oh, hell yeah. Well, it would be horrid. You know, I'd have to call Santa Claus to come help me. But it's learning maturity, emotional maturity, and it's absolutely okay to feel a loss, or to feel like, you know, if there's something going on inside your relationship, then you got to communicate. Let's get back to my notes here. Okay, so a person who is insecure and jealous, I'm going to use the word insecure, but it also means rejected, jealous, all of that, the blame game, whatever. It's all the same thing. I'm just going to use one word instead of keep saying the same 5 words over and over again. So you learn this bad psychology, and then you learn to do it really well. So you act this self-blame that you have within yourself. So here's the first tool I want to share. First of all, you need to get paper and pen out. Actual pen and paper. I mean, you can use a computer, but this actually hits at an actual subconscious level. Oh, I don't want you guys, my notes. Just take a piece of paper and then just write down when you have this sense of jealousy and rage going through you. Okay, first of all, are you feeling unsafe in your relationship? Identify that. Another thing I want you to consider, how are you doing jealousy? What is your strategy? What is the moment that your partner, what are they doing that triggers you into that type of feeling of jealousy? What is that insecurity? There is a strategy that you go through that you've taught yourself over and over and over again, and now it's automated. So it's looking at what that strategy is, and it can take a little bit of practice, it can take a little bit of time. That's what I get to help people do. Find out what the strategy is, where the resources are. What is it that their mind or their emotions or their body or what are they lacking? What is it that's not being met? And we're going to work on that side to help get that met within themselves. Meet your own needs, kind of thing. So learn what your strategy is, how you do the problem. Think about your strategy. We have strategies in everything we do. There are strategies in all of our behaviors. Just think about your strategies. Yours are yours. You don't have to worry about anybody else's strategy, just your own. How everybody else does their own thing, that's theirs. You can't change their strategy. You can only help them. They can learn, but that's not the point. We have strategies, how we brush our teeth, and I talked about this a few weeks ago, how we get up in the morning, how we drive a car, how we walk. There's just strategies on everything that we do. How I set up my show, how I run my business. I have a strategy. Now, sometimes I don't like my strategy, and I'm just tweaking it a lot, trying to make it more better, as it were. I know, bad English. Sorry, you English teachers out there. Okay, so you judge yourself by your actions and your performance and your achievements and your friends and your possessions. That's what we do. And when I say you, it's a general you. Literally, we believe that as this insecure person, that I am a better human being because maybe I look better, maybe I'm smarter or richer or more talented. So you have to do what I say because I know better. The person and my behavior, me, everything, it's inseparable. I'm just role playing here, guys. If I get a promotion in my job, that's clear proof that I've got vocational talent here. Okay, so I'm on the up and up. You know, the little in sign language snob, the snob mentality. I'm just such a better person. So you have to listen to me because I know what I'm talking about. And if you listen to me and I know what I'm talking about, then you know I won't feel so jealous or insecure. But maybe if you lose a job or your money or your good looks, or you conclude that you're less of a person, you'd have to do what, wouldn't you? You'd have to do something to get it back, or you're out of that comfort zone that you just so carefully put yourself in. We as persons are inseparable from everything we're connected with. And it makes sense to damn or praise ourselves depending on what happens to us. Accolades versus the victim mentality. I was going to go into the narcissist. I might go, I wrote a little paragraph on it. Yeah, okay, I'll go. I don't believe I'm a narcissist. I'll own my own shit. When I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I only understand it as far as it's been explained to me by people who are married to a narcissist, or what I've read about it in books, etc. And it doesn't make sense to me how someone can think like that, how someone can behave like that. But they have a strategy, and part of it's intentional, and some of it they're just not aware of. It's just their blame game. It's learning not. They've learned to not take responsibility. So, using the term expressively, the blaming, that you have attacked yourself in two ways. Whenever you've shown blame, you have shown blame because you're not successful, either in money or love, and you're showing blame. You're concluding that you, as a total human being, I'm worthless and inferior. I've lost my job. I've lost my looks. I've lost my love. I've got nothing. I've got this inferiority complex, and it's originating, and it's going to maintain itself. But one of the most unfortunate standards you, the jealous person, has is you use the judgment of worthiness, whether or not the worthiness of whether or not you're loved. Does that make sense? You judge worthiness, whether or not you are loved. Approval or disapproval by a loved one means the same to you as in the folklore times when there was a thumbs up or a thumbs down to live or die. Part of it they talked about in the Roman gladiators, and it's a fallacy because there's no evidence that thumbs were actually up or down. That this was you can live, and it's theory that they waved their thumbs in the air to die. I don't know what I read. But rejection itself, that jealousy, because you're feeling rejected, it's a monster, a big monster. It's like the boogeyman when we were growing up, that spook, and it's an adult spook where which you scare yourself. It's like that innocent childhood fear. Rejection also is perfectly harmless, just like the boogeyman. We conjure it up in our head so much it becomes such a real thing. But truth be told, it's not. It's just something you've conjured. You have no evidence to why you're feeling rejected. Being unloved as an adult is not only uncomfortable, but it's inconvenient. It's sad. I'm less than. It's not something you need to get panicky over, or to get violent about, or to cause yourself to drink or smoke pot or take drugs. Spend your energy somewhere else. Spend your energy changing your own self with techniques I can teach you, or other hypnotherapists can teach you. You'll be doing something far saner for yourself than your jealousy can ever accomplish. Jealousy brings you down. Rejection, the sense of it, and all of that's all tied together, it just brings you down. And if you are being successful being in jealousy, and I'm successful here, I'm gonna do a little role play, and I'm in my jealousy and I'm successful in it, don't you think for just a minute that you can be equally as successful doing just the opposite and having confidence and security, emotional maturity? If you're successful here, you can be successful there. It's an opposite. You absolutely can. Why not? Why not? Tell me why not. Spend your energy changing yourself using techniques that will help you drown out that jealousy. And you'll be doing yourself a far safer and be saner sense of accomplishment than your jealousy does. Accept yourself truly, and it won't matter at all who else accepts you. Because really, it's really, at the end of the day, does none of your business. Who accepts you, who doesn't? I have clients come and go. Some call me back, and we have lots of appointments, and I've reached out to some and they don't return my calls. Maybe there wasn't a resonance and they just don't know how to approach it. I'm fine with that. I don't feel rejected at all. Most jealousy or insecurity from people, it registers an issue of grievance loudly, but jealous people are rarely ever silent. They're just, there are people who can be silently jealous, but they'll be silent because that's just not their way to be boisterous or outgoing or just attack. The jealous person will scream, will smack them down, will be shamelessly hassle them. Shouting matches, which ensue when one feels neglected. The neglected person wants their complaint to be appreciated and heard. My recommendation when you have someone like that, whether you're in a relationship or a business relationship or friendship, and they're just not being heard, repeat the last few words that they just said. Acknowledge it. You don't have to agree with it, but you can acknowledge that they're hurting. They're in their fight or flight state and they need to get out of it. So as soon as you can acknowledge it and hear them and hear what they're saying, things start to calm down just a little bit. The neglected want their complaint to be heard. The jealous person is kind of like the dictator and slave driver to their partner. It's like your partner's some kind of chattel that, you own a possession or two. If you're constantly chasing people that act like you are not good enough for them, you're just seeking for their approval. And I can go on with even more examples and detail, but I don't have enough time. I'm hungry and I want to go home and eat dinner. But I'm spending this time with you, so chill. So how do you overcome this? So realize a few things. No boundaries around relationships is part of the problem. You do not believe that you're equal with your partner, that both partners, I'm equal with my partner. I'm equal with my partner. You're equal. One might feel or assert that they're more powerful than the other one. Stop it. You should be equal. Now, I do agree with this philosophy that if you're in a couple's relationship and both of you are equal, I do believe that one person should be given the veto power if there's a disagreement and the other person needs to be happy about it, period, and not throw it in their face or whatever. For me, I'm in a heterosexual relationship with an amazing guy. So it was decided early on, look, we're equal in everything that we can possibly be equal in as male and female. And we have a situation that comes up, an opportunity or a decision that we need to mutually agree on. And if we cannot agree on that together, then he gets to decide which way it goes. And me, I'm not going to give him any shit over it. I'm going to give him my argument best I can if I feel like, but I think that our maker gives certain wisdom to your counterpart. In my case, my man, there's certain wisdom that's been given. And I believe that we are equal in that. And I want him to know that he can have that. It's not like power, but if I don't let him have it, that means he has to always subdue to me. And I'm not, that's not equal either. I want to build him up and he wants to build me up, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so one feels or asserts themselves as a powerful over the other. Like I said, stop it. So let's ask you this, still going into the rejection, into the jealousy, into the insecure person. Are you a helper kind of person? Do you like to fix things? Oh, I love it. You meet someone, they're broken. Now, this is where I draw the line. You meet a broken person and now you feel the need to fix them. Shut up. Just step aside. Just shut up and step aside. Come on. Just because someone or many may seem that they need fixing, you might say, oh, this person needs fixing, or all these people need fixing. Just keep in mind something. You are not the one called to fix them. Believe it or not, they may not want to be fixed. Yes, I can't tell you how many times I've asked people who come into my office and want my help, and they have said they're not ready to let something go. Not just yet. You know what? It's okay. I'm just going to meet them where they're at. So that's where you have to learn about your biases, separating it and not being judged. Okay, you know what? You don't want to let it go. What do you want to accomplish? I'm okay with that. Obviously, I want to help them. Don't chase someone to fix your issues if you need approval. Talk about the jealousy, the insecure side. Talk about that side of communication. That's like the number one when you talk about, why'd y'all split up? Well, lack of communication or lack of needs not being met. Learn what that means. Jealousy, insecurity, and rejection. The rejecter is now obsessed with the self-blame. Even if that partner didn't do anything wrong, oh, I'm still going to blame myself because this is bad. But man, oh man, oh man, you want to fix that relationship and you're going to determine to try to fix it and finish it one way or the other, and it will end. Especially if the partner is thinking, this isn't working for me. And recognize a few things. You might need some help. If you are like this, and these are most of the people who come to me that have their insecurity, these are the people that come to me, and then they can leave with a sense of security. And sometimes it's just letting go of something that is so minuscule. I had a client come in a while back, and I asked them to let something go. Block this person, just release them, and just let it go. And it was a very short time later, they fell into the best relationship they have ever experienced. And it's still going on today. And they're just about as happy as two people could ever be. Just like peas and carrots, as Forrest Gump. But they had to let something go. And they weren't ready to do that at the beginning of working with them. So you've had an experience and you see this person, you just, if you're the person that, meets somebody, you've had the experience of having someone jealous or insecure in your life. You don't want to go there again. There's a little bit of dating coaching here, relationship coaching here for just a second. You want to get away from them. You notice those tendencies. And how do you notice them? Ask open-ended questions. Google it. Open-ended questions. Keep the other person talking and don't answer the question you ask them unless they ask you back. Don't talk. Let them talk. You ask the questions, let them do the talking. If they're not asking you any questions, walk away. It's time to walk away. They aren't interested in you. They're interested in themselves. They're not doing anything wrong. It's just not for you. So when you need a nice person, because the helper, they're nice. They're a helping person. And they want it just, but when you meet somebody who is very kind and helpful, wait and watch what their intentions are. Do they see a flaw in you they want to fix? And if you are working on yourself and you've got that emotional maturity going, they won't see it because it's not that you have nothing to fix. You know how to self-care. But letting them, that kindness person, they want to just give you everything right up front the first date, the first time you meet. And if you're working in a group and you're in a business or a project and you've got this helper person, they're going to put all their cards on the table. And what's sad is once they do that, the group looks at all their cards and there's nothing there that any of them need to do the project. So now this person who's a helper wants to take initiative and wants to be the person that gets approval. So now all these people are like, now that they're having to do it everybody else's way. It's not their talent, it's the other person's talent that they're having to use in order to get the approval that they've been just bugging for. So if you're a helper, an overly helper person, just that people pleasing, giving, kind, overly helpful, giving everything right at the very first onset, just back up and just learn that it is a practice. All of it's a practice. And I know it's hard to just not talk, but just clam up a little bit. How do you do that? You just do it. You just clam up. Oh, it's uncomfortable. I just got to say it. Get a rubber band and, or a paper clip. I carry paper clips in my desk here. Just get a paper clip and just play with it. This is the, you know what? I'm not going to say a word. I know how it should be done. I know how this should be said. I know what they're doing is wrong. It is not always your place. You can go in and fix it, but then what did they learn? What did they learn? Nothing. They learned that you will take charge and go in and fix it. Stop giving everything to someone you've just met. Don't break your back for someone until there is some kind of commitment. Even when you go into a new job, and you're there, and they notice that you have that very helper instinct, and jobs love that. You take the initiative and you do over and above more than what you're paid. You're in union, of course. Sorry, did I say that? They just look, wait, just give so much, but just wait. I mean, some employers, or many, will take advantage of that person that overdoes it so much so that now you're being taken advantage of, and helpers tend to be taken advantage of. They will do whatever they can to be taken care of, or to take care of something. They don't want to lose whatever hope they have or have had. Taking care of yourself is more important than trying to overly take care of somebody else. You should take care of your partner, and your partner should be taking care of you. It's a mutual, equal. Go back to equality, people. It's all back to the equality part. But if it's not mutual, then you need to look and figure out why. And there's a great website, hypnosis.edu/EP. Go there, read the website, watch the video first, which teaches you how to take the questionnaire, and you'll thank me later. Taking care of yourself is actually more important than taking care of someone else. And it's not selfish to put yourself first. The old adage about the airplane and the flight attendant saying, when the oxygen mask comes down, put yours on first. You cannot help somebody if you're dead, but they're going to die. No, you're going to die if you don't put yours on first, so that you can help the person next to you. Take care of yourself first. The captain of a boat eats first and sleeps first, and maybe his first mate. The crew gets seconds, not because there's selfishness, it's because one person needs to be on it, needs to be clear of thought. And they're taking care of themselves first, because they're no good to the people around them unless they're good too. I'm no good as a hypnotherapist to my clients unless I'm doing okay too. And I am always working on myself, always seeking advice from others about this, that, or the other things that come up in my head. Oh, I thought about that. Okay, so the whole taking care of yourself, once in a while, you're going to meet a helper that's a true diamond in the rough. But I met the only one. His name's Mike. He's mine, ladies. The true definition of a good guy. He's kind, he's helpful, skilled, intelligent, deliberate, and I go on and on and on. I'll brush his ego. I don't even think he's watching this. So let's talk about freedom. Freedom in a relationship, or just freedom in a friendship. Freedom. That rejection, jealousy, insecure person, you're trying to get that back. I had a friendship, but years ago, and I was asking this person like weekly, hey, let's get together, let's get together, let's get together. And there was always excuses why we couldn't, this, that, sorry, plans. I mean, for 2 years, I did not take the hint. And I wish they had just been honest with me from the get-go, but they weren't. For whatever reason, they just weren't honest with me. And our fellowship has been restored and all that. And now we can talk about it. But at the time, I was just so hungry for approval and for people in my life to be friends that I kind of pushed them away a little bit. Okay, a lot of bit. Now let's see, going back to your partner. Okay, that was like a friendship thing. You cannot prove to them now that you've a relationship is gone. Okay, because of the jealousy or the rage or the insecurity you have, or whatever, they've walked away, you've walked away, whatever the reason. Just remember something. You are the insecure person. If you're the insecure person, you cannot prove to them that you are now good enough for them. You cannot make them love you. Remember a couple things. They are wrong for you, and you are wrong for them. And that's their right. And it's your right too. It's time to move on and meet the one that is right for you, and get proper counsel and training and coaching if you have a problem with the insecurity. If that person you're chasing was right for you, then they would be with you right now, wouldn't they? That right person will love you for you with all of your flaws and all of your imperfections. They will just love you no matter what. Falling apart so that the partner will take care of you, pushing that guilt and shame on them, that's not healthy, and that's not going to help the relationship. It's just doomed to failure. And you're enabling. So where do we go from here? Okay, so that's all the garbage stuff. So we're trying to talk about healthy boundaries real quick here, and then I have to go. Creating a new habit system for healthy boundaries. Well, now you've decided you're going to work on yourself, and you're creating yourself some new, hear it, self-respecting boundaries. Ooh. You won't allow anyone to take advantage of you. It's not going to hurt you. Don't let them take advantage of you. You can say no when someone asks something of you. And you don't always have to say yes, even if you don't want to say yes. I don't want to say yes. You know what? No, I'm okay. Remember that sitcom Friends, Phoebe by Lisa Kudrow? She was great on boundaries. No, I don't want to. And she just like, she had that blonde thing. She's kind of a little quirky, but her character held boundaries. I loved that. That's a good example, whoever did her character run it. There's a song by Barry Manilow, and it's called Made It Through the Rain. I made it through the rain. Okay, I'm not going to sing for you guys. Made It Through the Rain. Here it is. Okay, so the song, it was my power song for a long time, and it's a metaphor for the struggler to get through their predicament or the predicaments. They kept their world protected. They held boundaries. They kept their point of view. Boundaries. And if it is what you believe, then be okay with it. Not everyone agrees with you, and you do not need to agree with everyone else. I was in a disagreement today with someone, and we're still in disagreement, but that's okay. I respect their position. Okay. And what do you get when you hold your boundaries? In the song, you get respect, especially from others who are holding their boundaries too. Sometimes you need to stand alone. Look, I'm 58 years old. I know it's hard to believe. I have a very small circle of friends. I live in a new town for about a year and a half now, and I know very few people aside from my clients. I've made it through the rain again. I am rising above the crowds, as this song goes. I am starting my own ILAH parade. I've stopped the resentful, jealous feeling of rejection, that strategy my new strategy is I'm okay. You know what? I'm okay. I respect myself. I love myself enough that I'm okay. I've gotten past all the crap that I've gone through in my life. And believe me, I was sharing today, bringing myself into the session with a client and shared a piece of my past, and they had a tear. It's like, don't cry. It's just, that's whatever that was that I experienced defined who I am now. And I don't think I would have the boundaries I have now if I hadn't experienced what I did. Hypnotherapy can actually help, and it helped me tremendously. So much so, I am now a hypnotherapist helping others. Truly, only those who wish to be helped get the help they want. And I set up goals. The goal of boundaries for me, self-respect, which breeds confidence, which breeds motivation. Discover how you do your own problems. What is your strategy in them? What is missing? What needs are not being met? You'll come across people who have no boundaries. Don't take advantage of them. Be an encouragement, the best visible example to them of what a healthy boundary is. And know that if they don't want to be in your life, misery loves company. And if you're a happy person and they're miserable, they're not going to stick around, and people will start to leave your life. I keep telling my hypnotherapist, I kept telling him every week, I kept telling him the same thing when I first started this almost 5 years ago. I just want to be a mature adult. I just want to be a mature adult every week. What do you want? I want to be a mature adult. Couldn't define it. I just knew that's what I wanted. I know it when I got it. I had no idea what it was, but I just kept asking for it. And then one day I kind of just realized it. I am an adult and I do love me. It took a little bit of work. It took collapsing limiting beliefs. See a hypnotherapist and they'll help you collapse those limiting beliefs. I worked with a modality called emotional freedom technique. Help me just releasing the crap. Mental, emotional release. I help release some of the crap. Why? I deserve happiness. That's why. I am okay being kind and scrappy. I not only deserve respect, and you do too, but so does every single human being in this world. And I don't care who you are or what you've done. You are a human being. And contrary to popular belief, people, we are at the top of the food chain. You deserve respect. That homeless person holding up a sign, they deserve respect. I'm not going to give them money, but I am going to treat them very respectfully. And the best, I'm going to acknowledge, I'll nod, I'm not going to belittle them. They're about as belittled as one can possibly get. Why make it worse? Keep in mind, as you develop boundaries to your insecurities, people will start to disconnect. I call it deflecting from you, and you're dodging bullets because they're going to try and bring you down. And it's so easy to go downward. You didn't do anything wrong creating your boundaries, people. You are okay. These people who were your friends while you had these loose boundaries were only your friends because they could get from you now what they can't. They could get from you what they can manipulate out of you. And now that you have this thing about friendship, you want to offer to them that friendship is what you have with boundaries. And now they don't want it. Now they have to take the responsibility for their own actions instead of manipulating you into actions that they don't want to be a part of. Now they have to take responsibility. There's a Christian booklet. It's a base booklet, but the concept is sound. Tyranny of the Urgent. It's by Charles Hummel, and I think you can get it on PDF online. And it has something to do with defining your own boundaries. Urgent versus what's important. What's important to you, not necessarily what's important to somebody else. Is what you're doing that are you being asked to do important to you, urgent to you, or to the person asking you to do it? Why not? Again, another strategy. Explore your feelings and resistance and write down your strategy. How do you do the problem? In minute detail, leave extra lines. Write down what your specific needs are, seriously. And it's okay to know what it is you need. I needed someone to touch me and love me and hold me. I mean, I was in hypnotherapy school, and one of the instructors was teaching us about a modality called biofeedback. And we're in the classroom, and he hooked me up to some wires and stuff. And I remember my stress response was off the charts, right? I felt fine, but then he just took these two fingers. He touched my shoulder and let go. Just that little touch sent my stress response below baseline. It was then that I realized what I was missing, my needs. I needed someone to touch me, and I wasn't looking for like one night touches or anything like that, but I knew that, okay, that wasn't what I was getting. And then, that turned into a big thing. Getting your needs met's okay. So this morning, let me give you an example. It's kind of cute. I needed buttermilk pancakes. No, they're not the healthiest thing. I know, but I asked Mike and he made them for me, and they were actually not bad at all. I don't think I could have done better. I just needed buttermilk pancakes. I'll find out. I found out that that's another story. Hang on, I'll get to that in a minute. So I'll find out what Mike needs. So if he's sitting there in his nice comfortable chair, he needed a comfortable chair, so I made sure he had a comfortable chair. So meeting each other's needs, he needs a back rub. But you want a drink, honey? Soda or the water or a cocktail, whatever. You want to be left alone? You don't want me to talk? I'll leave you alone. Whatever that. Last night I didn't bug him. He needed to be with his family. It was just fine. He has a sister who lives up north and she doesn't get to come down here as often. And so, hey, spend all, no, I don't care. Have fun, enjoy your family for sure. Anyway, that is the whole premise of my show. I kind of gave you a lot more rhetorical questions to ask yourself. I may address this again with more options to help. But I wanted to know, I did find out about an hour ago I wasn't going to be available from the 1st through the 4th, but I'm actually open that whole weekend, July 1st through the 4th. So I'm wide open. So this is my charge here. For anybody who calls me up on the phone, you got to call, don't text, but call 559-749-4803. And you can tell people about this, that's fine. Just mention my show, Most Things Hypnosis. Your first session, instead of being $250, will be 50% off. If you're an existing client, you may schedule for 25% off. My subsequent sessions are typically $100, so they'll become $75. But all that sessions, this is only good from the 1st to the 4th. They have to be scheduled during these 4 days. Okay, and it will fill up fast. You have to quickly, and tell your friends. Remote sessions are also part of it. So remote or in person, I don't care. But if somebody calls me to schedule a session between July 1st and July 4th, they have to be completed in that time frame and scheduled by that time frame, then they get the special discount. Okay, let's see how many people do that. So hopefully a lot of people are watching this, and I hope, well, there's a lot of viewers that watch it afterwards, and that's fine. Great. Call me. You have to actually pick up the phone. And if you call me and I don't answer, it's because I'm with a client. So just leave a message, or then you can say, hey, I just called you, and put your name. And then I'll call you right back as soon as I can. And it will come in the order to receive. So I have, of those 4 days, I can take no more than 3 brand new clients in one day. So it could be 12 new clients the whole weekend, or I can take 5, 10, 15, 20 subsequent clients. So I don't like to work more than 9 to 10 hours with clients. So a client is 2 hours brand new, and subsequents are 1 hour to 1 hour 20. So kind of figure that out. So there's no more than 20 sessions that are going to be available between Friday, July 1st and July 4th. So if you want to get in on this quick little last minute, I'll call up. I just did a 4th of July special. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I did a 4th of July special. And we can work on boundaries or anything you want to work on for those days. Come on down. And I'll work with you. All right, take care, everybody. That's our show. The details, you can find out more how to contact me at centralvalleyhypnotherapy.com. Again, my phone number is 559-749-4803. So in sign language, it's 559-749-4803. Okay, yes, I can count from 0 to 999 with one hand. That is my show. Tell your friends about the discount. They have to mention the words Most Things Hypnosis, and it has to be an actual phone call. Okay, that's the caveat. I'm ILAH Brock, and I'll be back next week with another fun, exciting episode of Most Things Hypnosis. I don't know what I'm going to talk about next week. I haven't even looked at my topic calendar yet, but this one started about a week ago, so I've just been working on it all week, piecemealing it. Take care, everybody. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Be safe, and I will talk to everybody real soon. Thank you.